Hi everyone. Welcome back to the Daily English Coach podcast. I'm Rachel and I'm so happy you're here today. If you're a new listener, let me just say welcome. This podcast is where we learn English that you can actually use in real life. I speak at a clear and steady pace, so you can follow along without feeling lost. We talk about topics that are practical, interesting, and helpful for building confidence in your speaking and listening skills. Today's episode is all about becoming fluent in everyday situations, and we're focusing on the B1 level. That's lower intermediate English. So if you've been studying for a while, you know the basics, but you want to sound more natural and comfortable, this episode is for you. Now here's the thing. Fluency doesn't just mean knowing a lot of words. It's about being able to handle real-life situations smoothly. It's about responding naturally, understanding what other people say, and keeping the conversation going. That's why in this episode, we're going to walk through 6 everyday scenarios where you might need to speak English. I'll guide you through each one, explain the useful phrases, and give you tips for sounding natural. And because this is a podcast, I'll keep it flowing, as if we're just having a friendly chat. So here are the 6 scenarios we'll cover. No. 1. Ordering food at a restaurant. No. 2. Making small talk with people you don't know well. No. 3. Asking for and giving directions. No. 4. Making an appointment. No. 5. Handling a small problem in public. And no. 6. Accepting or politely refusing an invitation. Let's start with the first scenario. Ordering food at a restaurant. We've all been there. You walk into a restaurant, maybe in a new city or a different country, and you want to order something to eat. You look at the menu, but you also have to communicate with the staff. This is where many learners feel nervous, not because the phrases are complicated, but because the situation is so real. The person is waiting for your answer. There might be people behind you, and you want to get it right the first time. The key here is to use polite but simple language. When the server greets you, they might ask how many people are in your group. Even if you know the number, remember to add please at the end of your sentence, instead of just saying to say table for 2 please. Small touches like that make your English sound friendlier and more natural when you're ready to order. You can use I'll have or I'd like. These sound softer and more polite than I want. For example, I'll have the grilled salmon please. Oh, I'd like the pasta with tomato sauce. If you need to make a change to the dish, keep it simple. Could I have it without cheese please? Or could I get the salad dressing on the side? Here's a tip. Speak in complete sentences, even if it feels longer. Instead of just saying water, say just water for me, thank you. It sounds more friendly, and it gives you extra practice speaking in full sentences. Now let's move to the second scenario, making small talk. Small talk is like conversation about general topics like the weather, travel, hobbies, or recent events. It's not meant to be deep or personal. It's a way to be friendly and connect with someone. In English-speaking cultures, small talk is very common. You might make small talk with your neighbor, a colleague in the office, or someone you meet at an event. The easiest way to start small talk is with a question. Simple, for example, how's your day going, or did you have a good weekend? These questions are safe and open-ended. They invite the other person to share something without feeling pressured. Another great tool for small talk is commenting on the situation you're both in. If you're waiting for a bus, you could say, looks like the bus is running late today. If you're at a conference, you could say, this is a great event, isn't it? The trick with small talk is to listen actively. If the other person says they went hiking on the weekend, you can follow up with, oh, where did you go? That sounds fun. Do you hike often? These follow-up questions keep the conversation moving and show that you're interested. Moving on to scenario 3, asking for and giving directions. This is such a practical skill. Whether you're in your own city or traveling abroad, you'll need to know how to ask for directions politely. Start with excuse me, to get someone's attention in a friendly way. Then you can say, could you tell me how to get to the train station, or is there a bank near here? When you're giving directions, be clear and use landmarks. For example, go straight for 2 blocks. Then turn left at the traffic lights. You'll see the library on your right. This is much easier to understand than just saying, go north for 200 meters. One cultural note. In many English-speaking places, people appreciate it when you thank them after they give directions. A simple thank you so much. I really appreciate it goes a long way. Scenario for making an appointment. This could be for a doctor, a dentist, a haircut, or even a meeting. The language is fairly similar in all cases. You start with a greeting and explain what you need. Hi, I'd like to make an appointment for a haircut, please. Then you discuss the time. Do you have anything available next Thursday afternoon? If the time works for you, confirm it clearly. That's perfect. Thank you, see you then. If it doesn't work, you can say, I'm afraid I'm not available. Then do you have something earlier? Making appointments is all about being polite, clear, and a little flexible. Scenario 5, handling a small problem in public. Sometimes things go wrong and you have to speak up. Maybe your order at a cafe is wrong. Maybe you bought something and it's damaged. In these moments, it's important to stay calm and polite, even if you're frustrated. You can start with excuse me. I think there's been a mistake, or sorry. But I believe this item is faulty. Could I exchange it, please? Using I think or I believe makes your statement softer. It shows you're not accusing the other person. You're just pointing out a problem. If they fix the problem, always thank them. Thank you, I really appreciate your help. Politeness in these moments helps you get a better response and keeps the interaction positive. Finally, scenario 6. Accepting or politely refusing an invitation. If someone invites you to something and you want to go, you can say thanks, I'd love to. Oh, that sounds great. I'll be there if you can't go. It's important to refuse politely. Thanks for inviting me, but I'm busy that day. Oh, I really appreciate the invite, but I can't make it this time. This way you say no without sounding rude or unfriendly. Now, before we wrap up, I want to talk about why practicing these scenarios is so powerful when you prepare the language you need for real-life situations. You reduce the stress of speaking. You won't have to stop and translate in your head. The words will be ready for you to use. Here's my challenge for you. Pick one of these scenarios and practice it every day this week. If it's ordering food, pretend you're in a cafe and say your order out loud. If it's making small talk, start with a short conversation at work or with a neighbor. Fluency comes from repetition and confidence. The more you use these phrases, the more natural they will feel. And remember, it's okay to make mistakes. Every time you try, you're improving. Confidence comes from action, not from waiting until you feel ready. That's all for today's episode. Thank you for joining me on the Daily English Coach podcast. If you enjoyed this, please subscribe and share it with a friend who's learning English. And don't forget, keep practicing, keep smiling, and keep speaking English every day. I'm Rachel, and I'll see you in the next episode. Bye for now. If you enjoyed this podcast, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Your support helps us create more content for you. See you in the next episode.